I'm not one of those stereotypical farmers wearing a cowboy hat with like some straw on my mouth going, "Yeehaw, let's get to farming" with my overalls. No, farmers are like normal people. I'm a farmer, that's what I am.
Having them have an opportunity to come out and not only like be outside, but I mean, these kids are having the opportunity to work outside for a paycheck. They're farmers. They are getting paid to be farmers.
You grew it, you put in the hard work, you put in the time. It's yours. It's your blood, sweat, and tears, basically.
Working here, it's shown you that, things don't happen immediately, but it's rewarding when they do happen.
We are on our way to Cedar Shoals High School to pick up our young urban farmers. We have a bag of snacks for them and they sign their timesheet, kind of clock in for the day, I suppose. And then we head on to the farm to get some work done.
You literally said you were gonna beat me. And
she's bringing it back. I'll have a schedule for you guys on Friday as far as who's doing what. Young Urban Farmers is a part of a larger organization, a nonprofit called the Athens Land Trust. As Athens Land Trust's main goal is to kind of like educate and how to be stewards of the land. So they do a lot with affordable housing, with conservation, and then they have a whole slew of youth programs, including the Young Urban Farmers, the Young Urban Builders, and the Young Conservation Stewards. Athens Land Trust is who funds us, and it's through grants is how they fund us.
And so today, this is what we're doing. We're chopping lettuces.
Young Urban Farmers are here to farm. We have lots of land to do it. They're in charge of a small portion of it, but they're out here farming vegetables to sell at the farmer's market. They learn how to fertilize, how to weed, how to do all the things that you do on a farm, on an actual working farm. There are several programs that run out of Williams.
So I think Williams Farm really serves as an educational hub. The whole goal behind this space is to make it so folks have a place to come and learn about where their food comes from and how to utilize it.
I like seeing our progress when we plant, and I like checking to see if it's growing.
Having this opportunity and learning these skills within this job makes me more educated in what I want to pursue later on in life. What I really want to be in the future would be some form of science, if it's aquatic or environmental or about climate, one of those ranges.
There's a lot of interest among young people in farming. A lot of interest among women, a lot of interest among young people of color who understand that our food system is really at the core of healthy communities, both in terms of physical health, but also in terms of social and psychological health and well-being.
So a huge part of what we do is all the kids do their own business plans. We talk through what kind of product or kind of service they want to offer. We develop those ideas, and ideally they do them, and at market we'll sell a product that they do.
Banana bread is our specialty. It's called banana pena bogana, right?
That's a terrible name.
That's lovely. So is it?
I actually quite like it.
And yeah, we're gonna make a lot of breads.
The kinds of skills that we learn here are incredibly important, I think. Not only are we teaching them about entrepreneurship and kind of that piece of you can go and start a business if you'd like, but we talk about soft skills. How do you send an email? That's a skill that's been completely lost.
We also focus a lot on finances because no matter what means you come from, being shot out into the real world after high school and not knowing how to write a budget can wreck you. A lot of them contribute some of their paycheck to the family's finances, or I think 3 or 4 of them bought their own phones with their paychecks. and otherwise I wouldn't have a cell phone. So I think it's important that we help kids figure out how to use a bank account and what credit is and how their taxes actually work.
We actually learned about credit card information. I don't even know what a credit card was. I only know what a debit card was. And like, you're telling me I can get interest at a bank? On this job, you learn a lot.
I learned how to cook with new recipes now because of the market. So we've been learning a lot of good skills for like the future.
Communication skills, it's definitely helped with that because I didn't know anybody here beforehand, but now I feel like I'm all great friends with everybody here.
Have one cupcake if you like.
Science is irrefutable. Unfortunately, I think the last couple of years we've seen more and more evidence that we're hitting pretty critical points in terms of extreme weather events.
I feel that we're experiencing climate change in so many different ways here already. The growing zones just changed again for the third time in about 10 years.
Our climate's changing, there's no question about it. It's also a big part of what I want to incorporate into the curriculum here in talking about, our growing zones will be changing because it'll get hotter and the things that we can grow here will have to be grown further north. At some point, some of those crops can't grow here at all.
We are these teeny tiny humans on this giant space that controls us, even though we are also controlling it, right? So since I've been farming for 10 years, I've gotten to see a bunch of different seasons.
So this is one of those situations where, as we know, older generations have kicked the can down the road. And young people see that the issue of climate change is one that we can no longer ignore. And unfortunately, young people are going to weather a lot of the cost of inaction for generations.
I believe a lot of young people should be educated on the effects the climate has. As a little scientist that I want to be, without the earth, there wouldn't be anything.
I feel like my peers take it as a joke or like don't really care because they feel like nothing's gonna happen in the time period that they're alive because of how, I'm not gonna say slowly climate change is happening because it's really rapid actually. Climate change is a very important topic that people just overlook.
Well, it could be a good thing and also a bad thing because like right now we had to have our strawberries covered up so when it like freezes to death. But also it could be a good thing like when the sun's showing and our plants could like grow.
I think people should waste a lot less things, stop buying a lot of unnecessary things, and especially those little celebrities who use their little private jets here and there for every minute to go somewhere. Take a communal flight, take a car. You don't need a private jet for all that.
Young people, they create a motivation in the older as well. Sustainable agriculture is as important now as it was in the 12th century. Since man started farming, they've been trying to do it better.
I think about sustainable agriculture or sustainable food systems more broadly, I really think about a system that is good for the environment, but also good for the workers, good for farmers, good for farm laborers, and then also are equitable and accessible for eaters, right? And as eaters, we all have skin in the game. A sustainable agriculture, a sustainable food system is one that is using natural resources in ways that are not depleting of those natural resources over the long term, in which the natural resources are sustained for future generations.
We're not certified organic, although we grow in the way that is certified organic. So we are certified naturally grown is the actual certification that we have. It is less money and it basically follows the same standards. So we do grow organic, but we're not certified organic. Not using the harsh pesticides, not using the harsh herbicides that are harming people and the planet.
You can go on a farm and pick a carrot out the ground and you'll know exactly what sourced it, how it was grown, what went into it, what kind of fertilizer was into it. Like, we use fish guts, so you know exactly what is going into the soil.
If you're not drawing down carbon, not only not emitting carbon, but I believe in agriculture, you should also be drawing down carbon from the atmosphere, mostly because we have to rebuild what we lost centuries ago.
And so nurturing the soil, improving the water quality, and also fixing nitrogen and carbon in the soil. And then at the same time, that sustainable agriculture system should be one in which farmers can make a living. It's a high bar.
But then you also think about how do we make sure that we are socially sustainable? And that is huge in what we do at the market. How can we grow food and get it to people who need it at a price that is extremely fair?
Yeah, it's important to have those affordable prices because especially with inflation, everything's going up with like rent, gas, food prices. Like at the store, a head of lettuce is like $4 or $5, but here you can get it for $3.
I love the organic vegetables and I love the Young Urban Farmer program because we've got to start, quote unquote, from the ground up to get healthy food.
It is reasonably doable on a teeny tiny thumbprint of a farm. We can feed hundreds of people off of this space. And that sounds crazy, and it is crazy, but it's doable and it's real and it's happening. And you can see Athens-Clarke County off the edge of the hill over there. And you can hear the train and the cars, and like we are in the middle of the city, but it doesn't feel like it when you are here.
Young Urban Farmers program is so exciting too because by giving young people the opportunity to both learn about agriculture but then to develop opportunities to become agricultural entrepreneurs, it helps build a vision, right? Build an opportunity to imagine ways to make agriculture and food system lives and livelihoods for themselves. And I think that's really important, really exciting.
Working directly with the youth is phenomenal. Like, they're my favorite part of the job.
The young urban farmers are a hoot.
With this experience, like, you really do like open up to a whole lot of new things and like changes a person. Well, I did at least.